Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor. I wanted to start out by addressing the market in general. Normally I don't show coin market cap, but today I wanted to because I'm seeing a pretty big discrepancy in the total market cap on a few different sites. And so I was just going to go with this one for the purposes of today. But the market, as we all know, has been going up and going up pretty good. But I just wanted to make one point here. For those of us that were here during, and I'm really talking to the people on here that are new and they're just starting to listen to some videos and follow the market and the digital currency market as well as XRP specifically. But I want you to understand something. What you're seeing in the market right now, and like we've seen XRP go up as much as 5 or 6%, like yesterday, and today it was up as much as that too. But that kind of movement compared to the bull run of 2017 is almost like having no movement at all. Things were going up so fast last time, and in a very short period of time, in like a month and 10 or 15 days, it seemed like, went from this to this, and it was crazy. So we haven't seen anything in terms of what this can do. And as I've said many times before, we have so much more infrastructure in this market now than we did in 2017, that when the real sentiment shifts, it's shifted, but when it really shifts, what you will see is something that you've never seen before, because I believe it'll dwarf what happened in 2017. And 2017 was unbelievable. Okay, so moving along, we're at about 275 billion in the market, by the way. From Leonidas, he says his website is xrparcade.com. Now XRP Arcade events will also include videos of the events. If they are released, found. When an event contains a video, the title will contain the phrase and video like the example. And he's got a link here where you can go and see an example. But that's great, because he has, like any of you that have been thinking about going to any of these blockchain events, which I have, I've been thinking about starting to go to some of them. I want to do it. I just have a pretty busy schedule. But if you're thinking about doing it, he keeps all the events are on his website. I think in the next month, there's one that Brad Garlinghouse will be at. But anyway, go check his website out, and you can find all those events. And now if there's any videos from the events, you can see that too. Okay, I forgot to show you this. I talked this morning about Brianna Madigan, who had worked at Goldman Sachs, who was hired by Ripple she was hired by Ripple away from, I believe, blockchain.com. And she was like an institutional, in institutional trading or something at Goldman Sachs. And now Ripple has her. And the way I read it, she's going to help with institutional adoption of XRP and digital assets. That is big. But she was showing off some of the swag that she got from Ripple, I guess, when she was hired. So that's pretty cool. Next, any of you who have not been to this website, especially in a bull market, need to go and look at it now. It's called fiatleak.com, fiatleak.com. And if you go on this left side, you can scroll down and you can do this with any digital asset. I've got it set on XRP right now, which it shows at 44 cents. And you can see where all of the volume is coming from across the world in the buying and selling of XRP. Very good, awesome visual for those of you who have not visited this site. Go check it out. Next, from Cryptopolis, at Cryptopolis_X, trader watches as 500,000 plus XRP sell wall gets obliterated on Coinbase Pro to blast through 45 cents at approximately 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, 5:29. This is just an interesting thing to watch. This right here is the big sell wall, and to watch this thing go, all the buy orders go through it, it's pretty fascinating. It's an interesting thing to watch. So go to his handle and you can go watch that. Next, this is from Rhythm Trader. This is really interesting. Grayscale Bitcoin Trust accumulated 11,236 Bitcoin in April alone. Currently, 54,000 Bitcoin are mined per month. Right now, they are buying up 21% of the new supply of Bitcoin. In a year, the halving will double that number to 42% of the supply. Institutions are FOMOing. Now think about this. This is one Bitcoin trust. Think about what is going to happen when the same thing is when there is a demand coming from many Bitcoin trusts or ETFs. Imagine what that is going to look like. Remember, folks, the limit of the Bitcoin supply is 21 million. They've acknowledged that only about 5 million Bitcoin has been lost because people lost their private keys, and then you have that much left. Imagine you're getting this kind of demand from one Bitcoin trust, and imagine if you just held one Bitcoin as these more and more ETFs and trusts begin to come on. Unbelievable, folks. It's unbelievable. This is like the investment of a lifetime, folks. Like by far, 2 or 3 lifetimes, as I always say. And that's Bitcoin. XRP, 3 or 4. I mean, come on. All right. Next, I got this from NVK Crypto, at NVKLYRAD. Give them a follow. This is an article that I found interesting. XRP targets 60 cents after entering a new bullish cycle. I wanted to read just this part to you. If we take a look at the weekly chart, we can see that XRP has completed its previous cycle by almost fully retracting its entire wave. On RSI, we can see that XRP has been in bear territory for quite some time and is only now breaking above 50 RSI. As we know, when RSI is generally above 50, then the chart is bullish and you can expect price to rise. Our first target seems to be at 52 cents, which is minor resistance. If we manage to break it, then 60 cents is very likely. That is interesting, folks. Okay, then I got this from Ian Northing. Now this is pretty interesting too. Popcorn time coming soon. This is from Blockchain Birds. A move like this by XRP would surprise a lot of people, which it really shouldn't, given the fundamentals and technicals. Probably anger a fair few BTC maximalists. It's not like they haven't been warned that XRP is the standard. And he's got this chart here. It says completed 5-wave corrective structure, truncated 5th wave, golden cross 50 MA crossing upwards over 200 MA. Confirmed production use of XRapid by banks, FIs in 2019. High volume breakout through significant resistance and moving averages. Thought that was interesting to show you. And then from NVK Crypto also sent me this, and I'm not going to go deep into this. I just wanted to read his line to you. XRP records rising momentum as millions of tokens moved to Coinbase Pro account. Now, folks, as these markets, as XRP goes up and these markets get better and better, this is what you're going to see. Coinbase Pro, for any of you who have an exit strategy that involves selling your XRP retail, Coinbase Pro is the one that I would recommend. And make sure you go and get approved for high withdrawal limits if you're going to be dealing with large sums of money. But Coinbase Pro is the cheaper option to Coinbase. You can transfer it into Coinbase Pro. If you have a Coinbase account, you also have a Coinbase Pro account. Same username and password, plus your if you have 2-factor authentication, same thing. Same thing you use to get into your Coinbase account. Okay. Next from X-Men XRP at XRP33, he sent me this, and I've said for a long time, I believe the perfect storm involves this fake stock market that's been puffed up by the Federal Reserve and central banks around the world over the last 10 years. I believe that the perfect storm would be when that begins to crash. And a lot of people think it's beginning to happen now. I'm not going to show you this whole article. I just wanted you to read you the headline. The Dow drops 222 points because chances of recession are growing. Remember, folks, we've been in a bull run with the stock market in the U.S. for around 10 years now. The average recession in the history of the United States happens every 6 years. It has been put off by money printing and keeping interest rates artificially low. They know that they've blown this bubble. They call digital assets a bubble. The real bubble, the massive bubble, is the bubble created by central banks, and especially the U.S. central bank, and what they've done to blow this stock market up over the last 10 years. If they would leave all of this alone and let the free market go, you would have recessions on average every 6 years. But the central banks over time have gotten more and more involved and stuck their nose in what should be free markets. That's why digital assets are one of the reasons digital assets are such a great opportunity now. Next, from Crypto Model, I thought this was a great picture. Bitcoin is for criminals. It's got a picture of these two little girls doing a lemonade stand, and they have their Bitcoin QR code right there, their code so that you can pay them in Bitcoin. How awesome is that? And finally, this is a great graphic I saw in response to an Anthony Pompliano tweet. This is from XRP 334, at XRP 334. And it says, what you see and then what you don't see. What you see is XRP. What you don't see is all of these things below, which is things like Temenos, things like XRapid being used, things like Visa being involved, MasterCard, XCurrent 4.0, Hyperledger, Federal Reserve, Fidelity coming into the game, central banks meeting with Brad Garlinghouse, Amex, IMF, SBI. This graphic could not be more perfect, folks. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe and hit the like button. And tell your friends and family that it's not important what you see. What's important is that you do your research and see the things that are beneath the surface. Thank you for listening.